Say it. Say what you want to say when you want to say it. Say it. Say it in peace. Say it with love. Say it with calmness and gentleness, realizing, recognizing that we're speaking to ourselves when we're speaking to others. And that alone should help us with being calm, being gentle, being compassionate, being empathetic, saying things out of love and not out of anger or hate or enviousness or bitterness or whatever it is. But I'm here to remind you to say it. We get so stuck in this energy of regret because we didn't say what we wanted to say when we wanted to say it. Because we allowed ourselves to hold ourselves back from speaking our truth, from sharing our true feelings, from expressing what it is that's going on in here, for fear of how we're going to be received, for fear of if we're going to be misunderstood, out of fear if. But the biggest if is you being left with that what if. What if you would have spoken your truth? What if you would have spoken from your heart? What if you would have shared that smile? What if you would have lent that hand? What if you would have expressed yourself in the moment you wanted to and not held yourself back, not silenced yourself, not silenced your voice, not silenced what it is that you're feeling? The biggest thing that we could do is leave ourselves with regret. That's like the biggest, one of the ways that we are self-sabotaging ourselves. Choosing to quiet ourselves, choosing to allow fear to silence us, choosing not to when we're being guided to. I know that there has been lots of times where I wanted to say something and I didn't. I wanted to say how I truly felt because someone thought I felt a certain way and I didn't correct them. Even though I knew in my heart I wanted to say, that's not how I feel. This is how I feel. A lot of times it's me acknowledging that, yes, I do care. I don't want you to think I don't care because I do care. But instead, the ego silenced me. Instead, the fear of feeling weak for admitting that I did care, I let that stop me. I let so many things in my life stop me from sharing, stop me from being. Sharing our truth is us being. It's us being our truth. Expressing how we feel is us being in that truth. And every single time I chose to silence myself instead of saying yes, this, or no, that, as opposed to just being careless and ruthless and just not care about this energy, this energy that I'm sharing. You're here, just like, I don't care. Just this careless energy when you know you care. I care so much, I care so deeply, and I feel like I let fear hold me back from caring as much as I do. Yeah, maybe because sometime in the past I cared as much as I showed how much I did care, and it wasn't received. It was received in the energy of carelessness. Someone who didn't care that I cared. Someone who was like, I don't care. I don't care if you're hurting. And that, I took that energy and ran with it as my own. Trying to toughen myself up where it's like, I'm not gonna say what I'm really feeling because I don't want to be hurt in the way I'm received by not being received. But you know what that did? It just turned around and hurt me more. It just turned around and filled me with regret and this void for not sharing what I wanted to share, for not expressing what I was truly feeling in that moment. And there's the balance within that where say what you want to say, but truly mean it from your heart. Truly come from a place of love, of gentleness. Like, look, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. And letting the other person know, letting whoever it is that you're sharing with know that I'm coming from a place of peace. I'm coming from a place of gentleness. I'm not trying to hurt you with what I'm about to say, what I'm about to express. This is just how I feel. I've realized so many different times how because things go unsaid and because we don't speak our true feelings, one person thinks one thing and in reality that's not even the case. I know that a lot of times I've realized people thinking that I felt a certain way or that I was thinking a certain thing or that I was responding within myself a certain way, and then I find out about that later and I'm like, that's actually not what I was thinking at all. That's actually not what I was feeling at all, especially because I have a lot of facial expressions, but my facial expressions have nothing. They don't communicate how I'm really feeling, because I could be like, damn, whoa. But in reality, what I'm actually woeing is something completely different, because my mind processes things a different way than everyone else's. Yours processes things a different way than everyone else's. We all have our own internal universe of how we process things. And that's not until we speak it calmly, gently, peacefully, then we're able to share with others what's going on inside this system, this internal system, as opposed to people just guessing and rumoring within their own mind what they think you're feeling, what they think you're actually wanting to say. And instead speaking for myself. Now I've learned to speak for myself. I notice someone thinking I'm expressing something because of my facial expressions, and I let them know, like, no, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's really going in my mind because of this. I don't let people, to an extent, I choose wisely when I'm going to share, how much I'm going to share, to who I'm going to share, and why I'm going to share it. There's times where I will let people just think whatever they want to think, just for my own peace and my own sanity, and just because I don't feel a need of having to prove anything. But other times I feel the nudge within me to share what I'm really feeling, to share what I really want to say, to not just let someone make up their own idea in their mind about what I'm feeling, and speak and share for my own self what I'm truly feeling. And most times, like 9 times out of 10, it's not at all what the other person was thinking. So I gotta go. But this is just a reminder. It's a reminder to me, as always. And it's a reminder to you to say it. Say it. But what's almost more important than saying it is how you say it. Your energy behind it. Take a deep breath every time before you respond. Just take 2 seconds, take 3 seconds. before you speak anything. And don't get nervous or feel rushed to speak, because I feel like that's also been something with me. I feel like if I take a few breaths, or if I'm allowing my mind to kind of balance all these thoughts that are going in, so that I can share them into one sentence or into whatever I'm gonna say, a lot of times I'm like, all right, Cindy, hurry up and say what you gotta say. And then I lose focus, I lose center. And I remind myself constantly, there's no rush for anything. And the more that I allow myself to gather myself in calm and in peace, and really feel confident and comfortable with what I'm about to say, that also teaches others to slow down, to not rush conversations, to not rush the present moment. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We're not meant to rush through anything. I don't know what everyone's so in a rush for. 11, 14, I have no idea what everyone's in such a rush to live for. The more we slow ourselves down and regulate our heart pulse and regulate our breath, the slower life will be lived. The slower time will pass by. Because we're freezing ourselves in the present moment, as opposed to just being zoned out like a zombie the entire day, and then realizing like, damn, it's already 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's already 6 o'clock because you weren't present. And you're still not present because that's why you're worried about the time. Or maybe it could be the opposite way too, where you're so zoned out, you didn't even check the time all day, and then you're like, oh, whoa, it's 6. I was lost in just being present. 12-12, whichever way is beautiful. So I remind you, say it. Don't be left with regret. Don't be left with those woulda, shoulda, couldas. All that is just garbage. Throw those woulda, shoulda, couldas away and start doing things in the present moment when you have the opportunity. What didn't happen was meant not to happen. What did was meant to. So there's no shouldas, there's no couldas, there's no wouldas, unless you're living in regret, unless you're not taking every opportunity you have to follow your intuitive guidance. If your intuitive guidance is guiding you to do something, do it. If not, you're going to be left in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But if you trust in divine alignment, always at play, then you'll know that everything is always happening as it's meant to. So say it, live it, be it, do it. Because the time to do all of it is now. Peace. 1, 3, 2, 4. All right, peace.